GateWorld Play.
It's just cool. I love the concept of going back in time and everything, and we kill Ball a few times, and it just I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it. And old Sly Siler's in there in the cheese. They can't cut him out because it's a long Steadicam shot. So try as they might, I don't think they can get rid of him. So, but it'll be fun. Have some popcorn and enjoy it.
Well, I've seen the movie, so I'm just looking forward to seeing it again. I think it's a really great film. I think it's going to be an instant fan favorite. It's got all sorts of fun, tiny surprises.
I want to see what Brad changed yesterday. Yeah. I want to see if he's changed it from what we finally locked into and made. I just want to see if he changed it. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I want to see the Arctic footage.
Oh yeah.
You're really looking forward to that? Have you seen it yet?
I've seen some of it, but I haven't seen it all put together. And I want to see the plane, flying the F-15.
Wow.
I actually did.
She actually flew it. I've seen it 10 million times, but I've never seen it big.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing it big. So, and watching an audience react to it.
Yeah.
Television directors never get a chance to have an audience react, so I'm very interested in seeing that.
I read the script and gave a couple of feelings, but I mean this is Brad's baby, and Martin did a fantastic job. They certainly don't need any outside help.
What were the particular challenges that this movie brought to you as a director and as an actor?
Working with Amanda Tapping was the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
Martin Wood as a director.
Amanda Tapping was the most difficult. She's a diva. She's impossible to work with.
The scope of this movie is unbelievably huge, and something I don't think we've seen before for both of these films.
Incredibly bad.
Rudest director ever in the history of directing.
No talent.
Clearly doesn't
Can't
know what he's
believe
doing.
it.
Total hack.
I mean, everyone knows about the Arctic already.
What you see on the screen is me making her look good.
But there's a scope in the film that, outside of just the Arctic sequences that are truly extraordinary, and I don't think we've ever been able to do on the TV show.
It's editing. It's all editing.
They call it an Alan Smithy film because they don't want to say their actual name on it. We all called ourselves Alan Smithy on this one because we had to work with Martin Wood. Terrible.
Can I just tell you that the Amanda Tapping you loved for 12 years, my fault. Editing, angles.
Now, is it true that you're secretly in love? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Get a room, guys.
Yeah, I love her husband.
Is this movie going to make new Stargate fans?
I think so. I absolutely think so. I mean, this is just a really fun one-off episode of Stargate. I mean, I think you could have put this movie out in the theaters and people would have enjoyed it.
Yeah. For the filming of the movies, like having the family back together?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. And certainly having Richard back for Continuum was lots of fun. And Ben, it was really good to see them. I haven't seen any of them since the screening of Architecture, so it'll definitely be all public here.
Are there any super big stunts that you and your guys got banged around for?
Well, there's a bunch of fog being blown away. I remember that, and there'll be some action in there. There'll be some cool stuff. So there won't be a dry eye in the house for sure as far as stunts go.
It's an emotional film.
Well, I get emotion over the stunts. So when I see someone get shot and fall over, I get all emotional. So it's going to be all good.
One of my personal favorites in this show was the opportunity to do a period piece for a change.
Yeah.
Because usually for me it's ignore standards of architecture, try and change it, try and make it look alien, so I don't have to obey any rules. So turning around and then doing something which is very, very specific and a known existing period, you have to obviously adhere to the rules and try and get as accurate as you can. So that was putting together the Achilles. Circa 1920s cargo ship. Did a fair amount of research, and the set decorators actually got onto a place that had some vintage equipment, so the radio room is authentic, right down to the ground. It really is. We have a reference photo of that, and you can't really tell the difference between our photo and what we wound up with at the end of the day. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it in a theater because I've seen it in the office, watching cuts and mixes and things like that, but it's not the same experience, right?
Right.
So I just want to see it on the big screen.
It's going to be interesting to see how a lot of the visual effects play out. In particular, I designed the hilt of a sword for Ball that has this impossibly thin blade, so the blade itself was manufactured entirely in vis effects.
We used to watch working in TV, so when you get to see a movie in the theater, but I mean, obviously the visual effects play better on a bigger screen and things like that, and it's a rare opportunity, right? Most people are going to watch this on DVD, so for me this is a fun opportunity.
But honestly, there's just so much peppered throughout the movie that I'm looking forward to seeing the final lighting on and everything else is. The interior of the frozen hole is quite a turnaround for us from a physical set standpoint. And hopefully help to create quite a different feel.
It's a great movie, and not many people are going to ever get a chance to see it the way we are today. The projector that we have here is a very special high-resolution HD projector, and they're using the HD source to project the image, and that's the sound system in a theater is generally a lot better than what most people have in their houses, and it should make it a theatrical event.
Foremost on my mind is just to see the actual finished movie of Continuum. I saw an early cut of it just after Martin had first put his first assembly together, so I'm really anxious to see it now with all the music, with Joel's wonderful soundtrack and the incredible visual effects, and just a finished, final, polished film.
I think the ship set looks great, the frozen ship. The visual effects of the airplanes are fantastic. I think in some cases people won't realize their visual effects and think we just shot a bunch of airplanes.
I'm not going to look for anything. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. I think that my eye will probably be drawn to things that I used to check on all the time when I was doing Stargate. Their uniforms, the patches, whatever. But I'm really going to try not to do that.
Just trying to enjoy
the movie. Enjoy the movie.
Do you find that difficult to not be critical about it?
I've kind of trained myself. When I first started doing this job, I would go to a movie and I'd always be looking and seeing. Now I don't. I just train myself not to, just to relax and enjoy the movie. The better the movie is, the easier it is not to notice those things.
I'm looking to steal every possible good idea I can from Martin Wood. There's full of them, and I use every trick that guy's got in his arsenal. I will steal every one of them. Thanks, Martin.
I have not heard anything about the film except for the freezing cold Arctic sequence. So I'm excited to see that because Martin Wood and all those guys, Ivan, etc., are very stoked to be up there. And there's that whole sequence is supposed to be quite something. So that's all. I mean, I know nothing about the movie. I'm just like everybody else. I'm here to watch it and be excited and be a little fanboy.
I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce Martin. I'm Brad Wright. I'm the writer producer. Martin Wood, our director. Applause. I had a really strange dream last night that the projection wasn't going to work for some reason, and that Martin and I were going to have to act out the movie. And it went really well until Michael started complaining about the way I was doing Daniel, and Amanda started complaining about the way Martin was doing Carter. So we'll do the real movie, and I'm sure it'll be much better than anything we could do. I also wanted to say thank you because you folks are the guys who made it, and you should be very, very proud of it. I know Martin feels the same way, and I think it's some of our best work, and I hope you'll agree. The one thing I wanted to remind everybody of is remember how much time we had to make this movie. And when you watch this, don't apologize. I'm not apologizing. I'm actually reminding you because the speed that we worked at with this movie, the speed that everyone here was moving at and things like that, only comes with a group that's very practiced and very comfortable. And I really appreciate the fact that we were able to do this in 4 days. So, for those of you that we actually shot this movie in 4 days. That's including the Arctic. Okay. Everybody turn off your cell phone. Let me too. And don't take a movie of the movie. Okay. Enjoy.
Prepare for the ultimate Stargate movie experience.
Let's do what we need to do.
Stargate Continuum on DVD and Blu-ray high def, July 29th.
Great story. Very, very cool.
What'd you think?
Pretty good. I loved it. I thought it's a big movie.
It is a movie, isn't
Why
it?
is it not in movie theaters?
Whenever you see a Navy sub breaking through the ice cap, you kind of go, this is not your average
Nobody's ever done that before.
That's
Nobody's
great.
ever done that. Yeah, that's $1 billion worth of production value we got.
Right there. Yeah.
No, I was kind of happy with the way it sounded. The sound and the picture was pretty good because when we did Arc of Truth, we used the whole screen and it was just too much. Really? So the blacks were black.
I want to see that. Now that I work on the show, do I get a free copy of the first one?
Yes, you do.
Since I didn't?
You just come and get it from me.
Great. It's great. All right, I'll do that next week.
Thanks for coming,
Congratulations.
Bob.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Here, dude. Bye.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It absolutely blew me away. The music was phenomenal, and just the effects, the visual effects team was fantastic and was spectacular on the big screen.
I loved it. It was so much fun. It was fun seeing Claude be a bad guy. Don't make the pregnant woman mad. And it was kind of neat to see all of the old GateWorld, sort of the glory days of the GateWorld and all the bad and the great guys in drag doing the bad mustache choking villain kind of acting stuff. It was a ton of fun, and Cliffy's so evil. It was fun.
What were you most looking forward to seeing?
How they worked all the fighter jet stuff and everything. I mean, I've seen it before in various different cuts, but to actually see it up there and it pulled up to the big screen is amazing. It actually looks more realistic on the big screen than it did on the small screen, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And it was really exciting to see everything come together. Wow. So it was spectacular.
It might not necessarily look like there's a lot to do in terms of on the screen, but for him personally, there was a lot to do that he really enjoyed. What with the losing the leg, and then I mean I had to give Brad a great big hug. That was really
It's a really cool challenge.
Yeah, well, it was cool. Never mind the fact that Daniel lost his leg, then he gets shot, and everybody's kind of dying.
Do you want to do any more Stargate in the future with Dr. Larry?
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. I just don't see a whole ton of opportunity in that regard, but yeah, I'd love to. I was actually joking with Martin Wood. I'm like, where was I in that opening shot?
Everyone else
and he said, we were gonna get you, and because it was all cameos and stuff. I loved it. I'm still kind of a little damn, we make good stuff. I was so thrilled with the production value and with the visual effects are unbelievable.
Yeah, great. It's a fantastic movie. It's got such amazing scale that we're never able to pull off, on a single episode kind of thing. The visual effects are amazing. The performances are incredible. It's a really, really fun ride.
I thought it was fantastic. There's nothing like seeing it on the big screen. That said, I'm sure, unfortunately, the fans at home won't be able to see it on the big screen.
Some of those sequences in the movies are so big, just to see that on a big screen, it's just not the same on your television at home, which is sad because it's unfortunately a DVD movie, but if you ever get the chance to see it on a big screen, you definitely should.
I have a fairly big screen at my place, so if you guys are in town anytime between now and, I don't know, before I guess end of July, call on over, call first, and we'll have like a huge screening. We've done the time travel thing to death, and it's just sort of, whenever it comes down to the time travel stories, it always comes down to the characters and sort of the interrelations between the different characters, and there's some really nice moments from the beginning to end, from Daniel Jackson's situation at the very beginning to sort of that the climax that really echoes for me 2010, which is one of my favorite episodes of Stargate, just because of the climax.
This is a theatrical release. This is a feature quality film, and I think that it could easily have been released in theaters, although that's not the intention of this particular film.
So I think it's an episode for first-timers, which is great. So you can actually step in without knowing anything about Stargate, and really have a great time at the movies. And it's also great for fans of the show, and there are like little, not only just the story itself, but little visual cues. Like there's this, at the very beginning, there's a tracking shot in the gate room where you see tons of familiar faces, and I just overall very excited, and hopefully it'll do even better than Arc of Truth.
The performances by all of the main cast were incredible, and the pacing, the excitement, the sound. You're really on the edge of your seat the entire time.
One of the things with Arc of Truth, I love the movie, but really, I brought my wife to see it, and she didn't really know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, right.
But I think Continuum is totally different in that respect. It's a great jumping on point for potentially new fans, and hopefully, new fans will join and check out Atlantis as well, and hopefully check out Universe when it premieres.
So what do you think of Brad Wright and this crew's ability to make a quality product?
That comes as no surprise. They've been doing this for many, many years, and they've never disappointed, and I think always there's a movement forward. Okay, how can we challenge ourselves and how we can create something even more exciting than we did, and they have absolutely accomplished that.
Congratulations, the second big one. We just saw it.
Yeah, it's I'm overwhelmed. I really didn't. This is the first thing that we've done. We haven't seen it through the process of post-production.
Oh, so you're surprised?
Oh my God! Wow! I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
It was kind of like watching Arc of Truth because I hadn't seen any of the prelays, which we usually do when we're doing the series. I can sneak around and watch the different phases of production as they're put in. To watch myself in performance is always a bit wince-worthy the first time, where I go, "Oh, that didn't come across very well." Let alone when you're sitting in a room with a few hundred people to do it. So it's always a little bit tough. But I was really impressed. I was really impressed with the fact that most of the story remained exactly the way it was written. It looked like a much higher budget production than we had to work with, and I was very impressed with the direction and the performances and the overall impact. I don't want to say pleasantly surprised as if I was expecting something negative, but it exceeded my expectations is the best way to put it.
I like the space stuff. I like when the ships come out of hyperspace. I like the bombing. But the one that I wasn't expecting was the gliders against the F-16s with the MiGs. Oh man, was that great?
Yeah, that was sweet.
That was great.
The stuff in the boat, I really liked the way all that stuff turned out. It when the boat was sinking and all the ice and whatnot was, although it didn't feel like as much time as we spent in that space. It didn't seem like that was all on the screen there. The impact of that stuff was great. I think the impact of some of the more personal moments that the team members were going through was very different. We had a fast-paced story that we got to slow it down and see some more personal moments with the characters, and I really enjoyed that. So I don't know. It's hard to pin any few down, but I just enjoyed the whole story.
His super objective was still the same. Yeah. Just his journey to get there is different, and you really see that he. No matter what time permutation you're in, that he's always willing to do whatever it takes for the freedom of his people. One of the real fun days is when, Peter Williams and Basic and everybody was on set the same day.
All the system lords.
And we had a lot of laughs that day.
Man, that was surreal.
Yeah.
Bringing them back.
We had a lot of laughs that day. That was a good day.
I'd love to see a theatrical release production. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. I know that the number crunchers do their thing, and I think the sales for the Arc of Truth have been going particularly well. So I think that by all aspirations, we'll certainly see more SG-1 in the future. Whether they want to roll the dice and take the chance on a theatrical release is a whole other ball of wax.
I certainly hope that this is the last one that you see on DVD first.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next ones you will see on the big screen, because that was a great litmus test for what we can put up on the screen and from what can come from the minds of Brad and Rob. And I truly hope the next time it is a theatrical release.
We'll see how they do. If they sail well, I'm sure MGM will be into making a few more.
Yeah. This has the ability to really reach beyond the fan base, although very much understands the fan base, but it can also reach the non-fan, and I think it will.
Go get it. I'm going to go out and buy it as soon as it comes out, because Lord knows they won't give me a free one.
Just kidding. No, I'm not. No, I did. It was great. It was great. I'm kind of thrilled.
She's all bashful. It was such a good piece. It was such a classic
I
Stargate
don't like
piece.
watching myself still on camera, but I love watching my boys. And it was great.